MaJeliv here with the Vasquez family, and today
it is cold.
It is very cold.
And we're gonna be watching Godzilla vs. Kong. And we're headed there now, but we're late, so we're gonna go now.
How are you feeling about it?
I'm very excited. Action movie. We're definitely gonna get some fighting between Godzilla and Kong, as we saw in the trailer. But here, let's get inside the car. So yeah, I mean, action is something that is definitely looks like it's going to be included, but one thing that I do want to see is a good story. Hopefully it has a good arc, and the characters and the acting hopefully makes it believable. So we'll see. But
okay, let's get to the like. Are you excited about dude? Freaking
I'm very excited.
Godzilla versus
Kong. We've been waiting for this for a very long time. After the King of the Monsters movie, and after Kong, we knew this was coming. Right?
Yeah.
The battle between them, where it was building up. It's been building up, and so we've come to the climax. So let's go see the climax. I'm a big.
Who you calling?
I'm calling Kong. I mean, he got the dorsal fin axe. I don't have a shirt of Kong, but I do have a Breath of the Wild shirt, and Kong does have the Breath of the Wild, so it works.
I'm excited. I'm genuinely curious to see how this is gonna go.
Yep.
King Kong definitely seems more like agile than Godzilla, because Godzilla's, I don't know, he's very buff. Buff is the word, I think. So we'll see how this goes. Like I said, I'm very excited to see how this is, especially experiencing this in the theaters, the audio.
Yeah, how you feeling about going to the theaters? What's making us go to the theaters and not staying home?
I think because there's a beauty of watching movies at the movie theaters. Like there's a difference in watching, a movie that has these visually stunning like cinematics at home, like on a smaller screen. Even though it's always a blessing to have a TV, but like to actually be there in the theaters watching on a bigger screen with amplified audio, you're more immersed into the story. Especially with these kind of movies, it's a bigger deal. So I am very excited, again, to be back at the movies. It has been a while. Last time we went was Tenet, but this is the first time I think we were going to the movie tavern, I think, right?
Yes.
So I am very extreme. I can't wait to see what happens. I mean, it's gonna be kind of sad if I see King Kong or Godzilla die. Like, that would kind of suck. But I hope maybe they can, I don't know, team up and there's a bigger threat. That's what I always hope for. But I don't know, maybe one will reign over the other. We'll see how that happens. And I'm excited for the stories too. Because again, like Josh said, visuals are amazing, but it also doesn't do the story, like, the visuals don't do justice if there isn't a story, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it's all just for show, then, like, what's the point? So I'm excited to see more about the story and what's going to be happening. So, yeah.
Alright, so I second everything they say, and I am equally excited. I think it's a blessing that all these movies that are coming out are on a streaming service like HBO Max, but we are avid movie theater fans, and we have loved going to the theaters ever since we were little, and we will continue to do so, and we love it, and especially with everything going on right now. Even though there is a safety aspect, we have been very safe. We have been locked down, and we have really not been seeing anybody. So it's we've been safe ourselves, and that's a big thing with COVID and all that, and we are still wearing our masks. We're going to social distance. The theater itself has those protocols in place, and we are going to be safe when we go, and hand sanitizer, all that, the whole load. What we've been doing, and it's been months. The last movie we saw in theaters was Tenet. The movie's doing great in the box office, so hopefully this movie is a great transition for these movie theaters that have been suffering for so long to be doing better and to get back up, and for the movie theaters to kind of revive, if you will, because they kind of hit a strong blow with everything going on. So we are super excited to support that and to help these theaters stay afloat and to go enjoy this, because this is, Godzilla versus Kong, this is like fighting to the max. full out, just, oh man, we just can't wait. I mean, that's the biggest thing with these two animals, these two gigantic monsters, giants. Oh man, and I'm sure there's so many fans out there that are excited to see these characters, this specific face-off that they saw when they were kids in claymation, now finally, you know, in the flesh, but also like huge and strong, all of it. I'm sure.
Isn't there like a Mecha Godzilla or something?
Yeah, like a Mecha Godzilla. There's some theories about that thing popping up, and we don't know much about the monster version. You guys have been great in explaining more to us, so we want to hear your thoughts down below on what you noticed and what you thought. But we nonetheless want to bring you guys along the ride, and yeah, thank you for joining us. And here we go. Let's go watch Godzilla vs. Kong.
What is on your mind? You just got back. What are your initial thoughts?
There's a mix of things.
Okay, let's talk to the people.
Well, first we'll do no spoilers, or I mean,
yeah, no spoilers.
If you
initial thoughts without spoilers.
Initial thoughts. Okay, it was good. I really think it did a good job delivering what the movie was made. I don't want to say made for, but for what the movie was building up to, the battle, the clash. And there's a lot of good action, and I can't say about the story. There were some things missing, and I say some, but a lot of little of things missing. It's complicated, but you could feel that there was things missing in general. But the action, everything was there. Godzilla, Kong, great actors. I think they should win an Oscar. But overall, I think the movie was pretty good for what it is, and the visual effects are insane, like insane.
Right.
And just to see how they've come this far from claymation to these effects is incredible to see the scope, especially if you're comparing two of the same genres. So it was an amazing action movie. And I did enjoy it, and it felt good to be in the theaters again. I don't know if I'll see it here again, because it's definitely a cinematic experience. So.
Okay, so now it's time for spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, this is where you turn away. Bye.
Leave.
Ciao.
Get out of here.
And come back.
Go home.
Yes.
Yeah, please come back.
Please.
We want you to come back. So come
Don't
back.
leave. Well, leave, but come back. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I warned you, King Kong dies. No, he doesn't. That's the character really that we follow the most, and we get the closest to through the eyes of this little Gia, she's this beautiful young little girl. She's a fantastic actress, and marvelous actress at that. Her soul comes through her eyes. It was absolutely beautiful. And Rebecca Hall plays a very, very convincing Dr. Andrews, who kind of has unofficially adopted her after her family was lost. Some of the situations that went wrong in Skull Island. So all in all, the bond between Kong and Gia is the thing that takes us through the story, and I absolutely loved it. I wanted more of that. I wanted a little bit more closure of that at the end of the film. So my overall call on this movie is that I loved it. I gave it 2 thumbs up as a cinematic experience. As a film, it lacked in character development. My favorite moment is when we follow Kong into Hollow Earth and he discovers his home. I was terrified I felt Gia's concern that, oh my God, I just told my best friend that through that hole is home. And what if I'm wrong? What if I just lead him into this terrible place? So to see that he found this place where his hand mark would fit the mark that was on this majestic, massive door, and then he sits on his throne with that cool Thor God axe. It was just great, man. What a wonderful, legendary moment that was for me. Anyway, that's my piece.
There was a lot of great moments throughout the movie. So all of the storyline holes and gaps and things that were rushed, I think they gave the movie into the action and the special effects and these mega monsters fighting each other, trying to fight for the throne, I think in that aspect, it was really just everything that we could have hoped for. So I do think it could have been longer. They could have added a little bit more story.
At the end of the movie, there isn't an end credit scene like there usually is, right? So you can almost sense that this was kind of an end of this sort of Godzilla Kong thing, right? And they had the two of them come together in one movie. And as a last movie of, I mean, hypothetically speaking, and the way that it felt, I would have liked to have seen, I would have liked it to be a little bit longer, because it's a climax. It's something that I would have sat through if it was a good story. If it was a good story, if that time that was there, the extra time, made the story better, then I would have sat through it. And I have to say that there was some moments that I didn't believe it. You could tell what side of the story was being cared about more. I think that the Kong side of the story was being cared about more. Godzilla to me felt like an obstacle at times, like something to get over, that King Kong was protagonized. And King Kong is amazing, and he is a little bit more human than Godzilla is, because Godzilla is a big, full-out Zilla monster, right? Anyway, you can connect with him more. He has eyebrows. He has facial features that can make... He looked like our dog at times. I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, Marcelli! And I think my family can agree with me on that. But I do love the action and what the movie was made for. I would have liked to see a little bit more of a movie. Should always be made in a way that you can watch it, and even though you haven't seen anything before, you feel something, you know? Like, you don't have to watch all these other movies to be like, oh wow, this is so great, you know?
Especially
it
as
should
like
be able to stand alone.
Yeah, especially like as an ending movie. Like, for it to be the last movie of this whole Godzilla, King Kong series things, of them colliding into each other's worlds, like, it's kind of a big deal. Like, if you think about it, Avengers Endgame was 3 hours long. The Snyder Cut, I'm guessing, is like, what, 4 hours long?
Yeah.
So, you know, for this to be an hour 58 minutes is like, okay. I mean, you still get to see the main action and everything that happens, but I think that was one of the main reasons that both human side stories were a bit choppy, is because I feel like they didn't give them enough time for those to develop and actually be emotionally attached to those characters. But I feel like if it was like 2 hours, 2.5, I feel like you would have gotten more storyline for the other people.
If it was well written.
If it was well written.
Yeah,
but
you can't just add time.
I think
and
as a
extend the story,
whole, as a whole movie of them trying to get their point across with this, you know, this huge deal of King Kong and Godzilla fighting each other and technically meeting each other for the first time, it definitely did the work. And I feel like with the time span that they had, again, I don't know how much goes on behind the editing and stuff, but with the time they were given, I would definitely give this, like my dad said, like a 7, 8 out of 10, because of obviously the time given. But I feel like definitely if it was longer, it definitely would have probably been a 10 out of 10.
With the reason for the time. And I do give 2 thumbs up as well, but does it have my 5 fingers and me clapping? Not really. But
visually, it is extremely impressive and definitely worth seeing it at the theaters. It is definitely not something you just watch here at home on your TV screens. That is something to immerse yourself into an entire world, feeling like cities are falling all top of you over behind you with
crazy,
you know,
man.
immersive
And the Mecha,
speakers.
man. The Mecha.
The Mecha.
That was he was evil, but he was cool.
Mecha Godzilla.
Mecha Godzilla. It was very cool. I loved all of it, man.
And they did get to join forces. Godzilla and Kong.
All right, so I second a lot of what my family members are saying. I do feel the more we talk about it, that like Warner Bros. Has been in the past, I think they had a lot of say in the end as to what went into this movie at the very end in terms of the timing and what would sell and what people would actually sit through. But then again, we don't know. It's all speculation, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I loved this movie. I thought visually it was spectacular. The stuff we got to see, I never knew that we could see 2 monsters of that medium go head to head the way they did. And I mean, truly, it was out of this world. And I know a lot of people probably give this movie heat because it's not the original. It's not the. I mean, just forget all that. Like, seriously, come on now. Like, it's like, I think, you know, there is a sense of a balance between conventionality and practicality versus just full-on CGI, and a lot of this was CGI and VFX. It was wicked cool, man. And then Kong with his like primal, just like fighting, like it almost seemed like the more angry and the more hyped up he got, the more powerful and stronger he got. So I think that was really cool. I really loved cinematically. Yes, I love that we saw this movie in theaters. I would not have seen it at home for the first time, so I don't regret that. And I'm sure you guys are sad that we didn't react to it here at home, but I'm glad we went to the theaters. In terms of story, I did enjoy the acting. I think the acting was well done. I think there were some story elements that were fairly good as well. I don't know, even movies like Endgame, and there's certain movies that are like the finale, and even though they take all these years and movies to build up to that, there's a sense going into it where it's made in a way so that if anyone's watching this for the first time and they're going into it, they kind of can understand what's going on. Here, I think at times it can lose people because even though we've seen 2 movies of Godzilla in the past, he did seem, like you said, I think he was very easily antagonized, which I don't think I was a big fan of either. I think what I would have loved to see too is, you know, if you're going to introduce this Hollow Earth, I think there was so much that was sped through. I think they should have really taken the time, especially if they're trying to build like this mythology out of it, where people can go into it and understand, and like where it's so tangible, like, oh crap, this could be actually be a real thing, you know. And little kids that watch it, they hear about Hollow Earth and they, you know, dream about going there someday and like trying to get there, and like. But I'm just thinking about like they had so much potential to really hash that story out, and I think a lot of that was missed opportunity because we barely saw a bit of Hollow Earth. We just saw Kong getting to the main mountain. What I would have loved to see is they kind of mention this battle, this war that went on between these monsters. I would have loved to see a little bit of that. But I think the issue with that, and the reason we didn't, is because we're kind of just seeing it from the perspective of the humans, the people in these stories. I don't know, it's not like an easy, simple answer. I think the story had a lot of potential and there was a lot there, character-wise, but it was just sped through. Even with the main scientist, I forgot his name, Alex Skarsgård's character. Like the whole thing about his brother, like I don't know, so seeing that, but seeing him and his brother fail, and then like more of him, and look at someone like Apex, haven't been established at all. That was the other thing, is the explanation as to why they're going to the Hollow Earth wasn't justified to me. I think a lot of things moved. They were kind of like pawns into how do we make Godzilla and Kong verse in a believable way. I don't know. I really don't. It's not an easy task. So that's why I will say they did a really great job in making it work. I think movie all in all was lots of fun, and they really gave us that ultimate clash that we had been wanting to see. So I definitely think this movie is helping movie theaters to make their comeback, especially after such a, you know, hard time for them. Out of 10, I would give it 7. I would say a 7.
A B rank in Sonic.
Sure, yes. So like a 7. A 7. It really was a good, well-rounded movie. Story, character. I think it could have gained those extra 2 stars if they really spent more time of hashing out more of those character details and moments that I think would have made us care for them more. I don't know, man. I'm still letting it sit. But all in all, 7 out of 10. It was a good, rounded movie, and we want to hear your thoughts. So please comment down your thoughts down below in the comments. Want to hear who you were voting for, and what you think. Who you
Who are you voting for?
Who are you voting
Kong,
for?
2024.
Who did you want to win?
Godzilla for Prez.
Right. Who were you rooting for? And which one did you like growing up, or, you know, if you were fans when you were a kid, and what you look forward to see in the future, if you know about stuff, if you guys know about MonsterVerse stuff that's coming, please let us know down below in the comments, and tell us how you felt. If you watched it on HBO Max, if you watched it in the theaters, let us know. We want to hear all of it in the comments. So thank you for watching today. Thank you for joining us as we reviewed and talked about Godzilla vs. Kong, and we hope to see you guys soon. We have a lot of videos coming up. Again, we've been busy with work, but we are trying our best to get videos out to you guys. So stay tuned. We have more Falcon and the Winter Soldier reactions coming. We got more sketches and skits like, you know, Josh, Bob Ross, more paintings. We hope to react to Snyder Cut, and we're trying to find a way to play God of War and fun quizzes, games. A lot of cool and exciting stuff coming as we get into summertime. So just stay tuned for that. If you want to help support us even more, we have a Patreon link that you can click in the bottom of this video, and a card up here if it works. We've been having difficulties with that. But thank you so much. So if you want to support us, you can click that or click down below. Your support, you get exclusive commentary and extended reactions and reviews. And more than anything, you're just helping support us monthly so that we can get videos out and keep doing this, because we absolutely love to, and we love to connect to all of you. And yeah, so with that, go out there, spread your light, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.